now making a right in the beautiful downtown city of Bamberg, South Carolina. We are making a right from 301-601 onto Highway 78, going east toward Charleston, South Carolina. And we're going to go down one of the original old buffalo trails. Yes, that's right. Maybe many of you didn't know there's an old buffalo trail in Bamberg. There's some in Earhart too. We're going to go down those also. But okay, we're passing the Baptist church on the right. Can you slow down just a minute, James? Just a little. This is the Methodist church. I'm going to show Conrad the house that Conrad Earhart built for his daughter. Keep going. I'm going to show it on right the Methodist church right there. Now this is the house that was Conrad Earhart's daughter as we're going by. Now, next we're going to make a left right here on Cannon Bridge Road off of 78. And it has a sign, and if anybody wants to visit here and go to it, the sign says BE, well, we went too fast to see the sign. BE High School. You got to go kind of slow, James. James has a little bit of a heavy foot at times, so okay. All right, we're going down Cannon Bridge Road. We got to go, James, because it's getting hot. Okay, we don't want to slow down until we get to the Buffalo Trail. I know you're going to expect to see this old trail, right? Well, this old trail is now paved, of course, and it is called the Old Charleston Augusta Highway. But it was once a buffalo trail, right, James?
Yes, it was.
Okay, here's our chauffeur, James Banfield.
Hi.
And the way most of our roads across America were formed were from original buffalo trails. And of course the Indians hunted the buffalo, so the Indians began following the buffalo trails to get meat to have their bison, their buffalo. And so first the buffalo, then the Indians after them. Then when the white man came, the white man found these trails, so the white people just started going after the place where the Indians went down. The buffalo trails already established. And this is, of course, yes, Cannon Bridge Road. And we're almost there, where we're going to turn one more time to the right. And let's see, where was I with the Buffalo Trail, James? Do you remember? Can you keep my place or not?
No, I'm driving.
Okay, you're no help. Okay, I got to do this all by myself.
Turn right up here.
Yeah, in front of Howard Cooler's house. We're going to turn right. Anyway, the white people started going down the trails, and they were probably first walking trails. Then as the wagons came along, they became wagon trails. There's one called the Jubilee Trail, the Oregon Trail. There were all different trails across the United States, and you might wonder, well, why are all these buffalo going all these different places? I don't know about all of them. I guess they had the feeding habits, but these particular ones that we're going down now, this one in particular, where this white truck is coming out. Okay, there's the Howard Cooler house on the corner, Maryland and Howard Cooler. And we are at the four-way stop. We're going to make a right onto, what is the name of this road? State Highway S586, in case anyone wants to travel this same route. Whoa, James. Okay. We're going to try to go it all the way down to where it ends again on Highway 78. Anyway, this was the old Buffalo Trail. This just north of Bamberg. This is in the north part of Bamberg, right downtown Bamberg, and right before we go to you get to the river.
Right.
But you notice the buffalo weren't far from the Edisto River. It's not far from here. And I just thought this was fascinating in case anybody wants to come down this old route. Now let me tell you the thing that I found out from reading an old historical article that was the person who wrote the article referenced back to an author who is A.S. Sally. He was a a historian for the state of South Carolina long years ago, and in his book on the early adventures of the people in South Carolina, he mentioned that the reason the buffalo took this trail right here that we are on right now, in particular, this one and a lot of the other ones, was because the buffalo twice a year went to the ocean to get salt. And I, of course, said, well, how did they know to go to the ocean? James, you're welcome to speak anytime.
Oh, you're doing good.
No, I need some interaction here.
Yeah.
Why do you think the buffalo went to the ocean twice a year? How did they know to go to the ocean to get salt, James?
Because they're just like our bodies. They had a craving for the salt.
Yes, but how did they know where the ocean was and which way to go?
Prior experience from generations and generations and generations
Well,
of buffalo going down to the ocean.
In other words, it was the DNA?
Yep.
Or passed down, the little buffalo went down the trail with the mama and the daddy?
That's right. Just like the geese flying, they know where to go.
Well, but my question is, how did they, the original ones who went down here to get salt, how did they know to go here? That's my question.
Oh, which one came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right. How did the first buffalo know to go to get salt?
They had, like I said, they had a craving for the salt. And their noses were guiding them to the ocean because the salt air was drawing them.
Well, I don't think the salt air was 70 miles inland, and some of them came from Augusta also, and all kinds of places. I think it was instinct, just like the Lord, puts instinct in all of us. How do the birds know to fly south for the winter, right?
Okay, let me ask a question here.
Okay.
Are you asking about how did they know to go to the salt? Or how did they know to come up here following the river?
I'm asking, how did they know to go to the salt? Okay, now we just crossed a road called what now? I couldn't see.
Yeah.
See, they had to instinctively know somehow to get to the
Right.
salt. All these
Exactly.
buffalo had this instinct to go to the salt, so they had to, like when if a dog or a cat knows how to get home, don't they? If they get lost, usually some of them do more better.
You're right.
Better than others. So I think that it was programmed in them, and then of course, once it was programmed and it was established, they raised up the new ones and kept on with the little buffalo. That's just my question. Is that we had discussed it earlier. We had both agreed it was instinct.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you again to kind of help me with this conversation. Anyway, it was by learning after a while, but at first it had to be by instinct because too many buffalo were going from inland all the way to oceans.
There you go.
Too many, not just one buffalo. So all these trails were formed all across the United States from these buffalo. Look at there, it turns. This is called Stagecoach Road. We should have stopped right there. I think we're back to 78 now, though. Let's see where we're at. Okay, let's stop and see what road this is. Okay, I know exactly where we are. We are back on 78, which is called Heritage Highway. Can you loop back and let's go back to that place we just wanted to do. We're back on Highway 78. So the road originally came from Charleston, or went to Charleston, from this 78 here, because the road merges into 78 there, Heritage Highway. And what it is the original trail went a little north of Bamberg, where 78 is now. And that sign that says Stagecoach, it's on up here, the next one. Well, there it is there too. Let's back up and pull down that road.
All right.
It's also up there, says Stagecoach. Now I wonder why it's cutting off on a little thing here. Maybe they brought the road this way or something, because it comes right back around there. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera for just a second. As we're going down, let me film it real quick. It says Stagecoach Road here. James, could you go on up a little farther, please?
Sure.
I got to film it. Okay, can you see that? Let me zoom. Wrong button. Stagecoach Road. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to cut for a minute. Well, after we go down it, keep going. Just go around, do the round. It's a circle. Well, it's not an actual whole circle, but the original Stagecoach Road must have came right here, see? Because keep going around. That's where it comes out. It must have had a little corner they cut Old Buffalo Trail back to Howard Cooler's house. on the left. And we're at the four-way stop again. Now, to show you where the Buffalo Trail goes eastward, it goes straight past Howard's house. This is going towards Paw Country Club, if anybody wants to know the landmark. So this was the original old Buffalo Trail. Isn't this amazing? Buffalo were going along the trail not too far from the Edisto River. And as a matter of fact, it's going to come out here on 301 in just a minute, right in front of Duke's Barbecue. This is 2011, so there is a Duke's Barbecue there. We need to make a like a time capsule note here in case this video is being watched by people in future years. Anyway, we're still on the old Charleston Augusta. They called it Stagecoach Road because eventually it did become it was the Buffalo, then the Indian, and then the wagons and Stagecoach. So that's how it became the old Stagecoach Road, and it's now called the old Charleston Augusta Highway. Now it does run back into 78 somewhere the other side of Blackville. We looked on Google Earth and saw that it does, but we're not exactly sure of the exact point where it goes back into Highway 78. But it does, and keeps going towards Augusta. And I just thought that was really interesting. We're going to come up here in just a minute to Highway 301. See, there's Paw Country Club. That's our landmark. Hard to believe I've lived here in Bamberg and Earhart all of my life, and I never knew this was an old Buffalo Trail. I think that's kind of fascinating, and I think that somebody should be telling our local kids in school about our local history. I didn't know this. Why didn't they? I only learned about swamp fox. There should be some way to teach your children in your own county your local history, because it's really important. But I guess, the state books are done by the state, and they're not concentrating on any local locality unless it was somebody famous like Swamp Fox, I guess. Now here we are. We're going to go straight across. Here is Duke's Barbecue. That's Duke's Barbecue across the road. This is Highway 301. This is 301 going north towards Orangeburg. Bobcat Landing would be up there, north. Now we're going straight across, right in front of Duke's Barbecue. And what is on?